Greetings! I hope you had a lovely, love tubers. I hope you had a lovely Memorial Day weekend, that it was everything that you hoped for before starting back to whatever projects and whatnot that you had today. I had a great time. I spent it with family, and I wrote songs and poems and got some of my music together. It's going to be out by next weekend, and I'm still working on some more poems and songs so I can get those out as well. So yeah, it's been a nice weekend. I got to go to several parks and got to play on the swing set, and went and visited over at the fort for Memorial Day. They have a Hall of Fame and some other things over there, so, and to pay tribute, things of that nature. Went out to eat at the family table gathering. On the actual Memorial Day itself, we had a little fancy cake table gathering. My sister did most of the cooking from scratch, and yeah, I don't do too much cooking, y'all. That is not my area of expertise. But yeah, it was lovely. Y'all know what I'm here for. It's to get back started. We have covered a few things, and I'm ready to continue covering. We are almost there with the Petikas of the Orisha Tarot by Andrew McGregor Obatalimi. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We've come a long way if you have reached this video, and we still got a little bit more to go. So we have covered the trumps. Beautiful day out here today. And we have covered the court cards. We are now going to cover the wands. And Hunty, I have been waving lots of wands. Amen, and I see. Okay. Ace of Wands is what we're covering right now. Don't forget, I do have journals available, as well as clip notes for the book. And then also just finished my first Orisha's book, The 7 African Power Practices for Beginning Practitioners, available on Amazon. All right. Okay. Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is in the beginning of things. It is the spark that sets things in motion. It is the will that gives us the strength to begin walking our path. Fire can be the spark of lightning, which burns down the forest and brings new growth from what remains. Or it can be the lightning of the stove through which we sustain ourselves. In the beginning of creation, the world was a burning rock floating in space. Because it was too close to the sun, it was unable to cool enough to allow life to form on its substance. So Shango used his axe and magic to move the planet to its current orbit. In time, the earth cooled, water formed, and the life came about. In making a life for ourselves, it can take a heroic effort to bring ourselves to our proper orbit, one that is neither too hot or cold. Symbolism. Shango's axe as a tool of justice and correction. It is traditional to show one of Shango's female worshippers holding up the head of the axe. Lightning bolts moving in all directions. There we go. This card highlights the need for the person to go start something with clarity and commitment. We cannot know the full detail of the journey ahead, but we must set the process of creation in motion. There has likely been a lot of chaos leading up to this point that needs to be left behind. Spirit has given a clear direction. Start working on it. You still have energy and time if you begin now. You feel where you are called to serve, but your ego holds you back. Do not burn things down just as they are beginning. Solutions. Anything inauthentic needs to go. Put your faith in spirit. Note. It is customary for the deck creator to sign a card. Being a priest of Shango, I chose to put my name, Obatalimi, on this card as my signature to the whole of the deck. I place it at the bottom of Shango's axe in deference to my commitments to him as the owner of my head. that beautiful? Awesome. Yes. All right, Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of friction. Often when it shows up in a reading, people are struggling to maintain their independence with others they are choosing to be involved with. How this tension is handled will determine whether this is a good or bad thing. In the Odu Asa, in the proverb, two rams cannot drink from the same bowl. As the card shows, the butting of heads is inevitable. The proverb speaks of the problem of stubbornness that persisting to push for our agenda brings into our life. Whew. Certainly someone will feel they lost in the end. Perhaps everything will be lost. Yet it is not required that things play out this way. The water over which the rams fight could bring coolness to the situation, which could lead to better outcomes for everyone. There is a way for heads to butt in a productive manner. The hammer strikes the steel on the anvil, working with it to shape useful tools or outcomes. The heat is centered on the task, shaping the metal. The action is not focused on the individuals involved. Unlike the heat in the heart of the rams, this fire becomes productive and not destructive. Symbolism. Two rams for the two sides of the situation, also for our instinctive response. The water as means of cooling hot heads or tempering tools to work better. The hammer and anvil with which we can make tools and accomplish many things. Divination. When this card is in a reading, everyone involved is making things worse with their stubbornness. Deciding whether or not the situation is workable will depend on the motivations of each side. With a clean heart, the situation could be tremendously productive, but if people are unwilling to change, it's better to walk away. Everyone thinks their ideas are right. People are not in control of themselves. Wanting the same thing is no guarantee of success. Planning and patience are the only way forward. Solutions. Count to 10 before reacting. Drink a glass of water when you are feeling hot. Take a break and reconsider the whole thing. Three of Wands. Territory could be the name for this card. It is a card where we have found the edge of what is ours and seek to expand it. It is not a card of conquest as much as it deals with acquisitions and invention. Once the world was covered in water and the Creator wanted to bring life to it. He sent Ochanla to go and make lands so that people could inhabit the earth. They descended from Uran heaven on a chain with a snail full of earth and a chicken. Yes, I love this story. When they reached the bottom of the chain, they poured out the earth and the chicken began to scratch at it, spreading it around. In time, all the continents were made and life came to the earth. This creation story is told many ways with different orisha and different items being brought down. My personal favorite includes a chameleon as an element of magic being brought into the world. I have left it in its simplest telling, though, for clarity. Symbolism. The tools of expansion. A chicken, a snail, and dirt. I didn't know a chicken had so much power, did you? Ochanla looking out at the possibilities of creation. The future, our time as high rises and plains on the horizon. I might need to face the other way here in a minute. But there's no sunshine out, really. It just feels good. Let's see. Divining. When we are reading this card, we should look at the ideas of innovation and expansion. However, much has been achieved already. It is just the beginning. Whatever is set in motion will go beyond the person's wildest dreams. Praise God. I'm going to need that to happen right there. And then, yet the work of getting there is like the chicken scratching in the dirt, persistent effort over time. Do you know how much land the chicken? Okay. Too often people see the end goal but do not want to put in the effort or do the more meaningful task required to get there. Growth and success, plans that grow into something life-changing, a vision of things no one else thinks are possible. I was doing work. I was putting things out there. But, on account that the universe bring it back around in monetary form, or however it wants to bring it back around. I'm changing things up while I'm talking to you. And I was talking to I call her my shirker or my teacher. And she says, you're doing all the little things. You need to go ahead and start handling the big things. That might be okay as far as lighting. That might be better. We'll see in a minute. Okay. So I am now working on the bigger projects now that she has said that to me, instead of the smaller projects. Okay. Solutions. Work hard. Take the opportunities offered. Pray for wisdom and intelligence. Get your hands dirty. I'm getting my hands dirty right now. Ooh, child. 4 of Wands. Oh, yeah, that's better. Oh, yes, much better. I'm glad I moved. The 4 of Wands is a card. Well, since I moved, and this is much better. I don't want to do y'all like that. Hold on. Ace of Wands. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. Now we are at 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is a card of something ending and a new order being established. It is the completion of a cycle and provides the opportunity elevation before the next cycle starts again. It is the diaspora, the Orisha traditions adapted to the environment and situations that slavery enforced on practitioners. In West Africa, it is common for priests to only receive their Orisha and a few others, while in Cuba, it became the practice to give everyone the 4 pillars. Obatala, Shango, Oshun, and Yemaya. This was done in Yemaya. This was done in part out of a need to preserve these spirits among more people so they could be sure to be passed on. Symbolism. 4 colors for the 4 Orishas. White for Obatala, red for Shango, yellow for Oshun, and blue for Yemaya. And I talk about the colors in my book as well. Obatala's staff giving him authority as the Creator's representative on earth. Shango's axe with which he dispenses justice. Oshun's oars for which he helps life move forward. Come on, Sweetwater. Yemaya's anchor symbolizing her ability to bring stability. And the sun has came out, y'all. Hello, sun. Divining. Now that the sun has come over. Oh, okay. This card brings closure and possibility for new beginnings. Right now is a time for setting up the structure that will support the new era of your life. Ooh-wee. Yet so often when this card comes up in a reading, the person is only focused on the end and at best dreaming of the future. Something is coming to a conclusion. You are reaching the end of a plan. What's next? How many Allens have you got helping support you? Solutions. Ask Abatala for a cool head. Shango for the drive to get things done. Oshun for the charm to win people over. And Yemiya for the inner stability to keep showing up. Make a new plan. I always make new plans. Yes, always. Take a white bath to refresh yourself. Like a milk bath. Clean your spirits and shrines. Oh, Ilegwa. 5 of Wands. This card is one of strife and conflict. Specifically the kinds of conflicts where it is not clear why the fight began or who is in the right. This tendency is to step in the fray and push one's agenda, but that is rarely a wise move when this card speaks. Even if someone wins, there's likely to be no clarity or resolution. I have no idea why my alarm's going off. Stop. Oh, okay. Anyway. All right. Pardon me. Sorry about that, y'all. Ilegwa was frustrated with the people of a town who had stopped paying him respect. As it is often the situation in times of ease, people neglect spirit. So Ilegwa painted half his body red and the other black, because Ilegwa is a trickster, and walked down the main street of town. The people on the left of him look at the strange red person. What's going on with that? Their neighbors across the road shouted back, "Are you blind? That person was black all over." Arguments started, eventually escalating into physical conflict. Ilegwa watched from the edge of town and walked back the same way. This time, of course, people saw what their neighbor across the street had sworn they saw. Instead of apologizing, their anger continued and they fought again. After watching a while, Ilegwa walked again to the center of town singing happily, "Do you see the error of your ways? Do you see what comes when you do not give me the respect I deserve?" Symbolism. Ilegwa's red and black outfit representing both sides of the truth. There's always a different perspective. Always another truth, always another side. All right. Other than the one the individual itself believes. Ilegwa's cane with what he opens or closes the way for people. The outline of the people fighting. I don't know if you saw that or not. There they are. Okay. The design of the people fighting mirror the Rider-Waite-Smith deck in honor of that school of thought. Yes. I've never done anything with that deck, except, maybe occasionally look online at things, but that is not my, maybe in the future, but not right now. Divining. Ilegwa is communication personified. When this card shows up, we need to be very careful not to lean into fights. We may not know the whole truth. Arguments that go nowhere, miscommunication leads to disasters, conflict with neighbors and colleagues. Solutions. Make an offering to Ilegwa. Do not argue. Do not make things personal. Mend your fences with your neighbor. Six of Wands. This card represents a very important Odu in Lukumi Divination, where we find the proverb, the dog has 4 legs but can only walk 1 road. That's the same for, okay. Divination is a key practice in helping people learn what roles are theirs in the Lucchese tradition. Here we see an Oriente divining to help people navigate their indecisions. To navigate correctly, we must also know where we are and where we have been. Despite the fact that the most Orients today are men, the first Orients in Cuba were among women brought over by the slave trade. We must also know who we are. Another story is about peony seeds, arguing among themselves about whether they were red or black. They went back and forth and could not decide, and the sound started to annoy Shango. When they could not resolve the conflict together, he got angry and cursed them to live inside his rattle and only made a sound when they are shaken to call him. Of course, the peony seeds are both red and black. Symbolism, a forked road showing the choice that needs to be made. A peony seed and shaker showing the need to know both ourselves and make decisions before they are made for us. A female Orient respecting those wise women who brought the Lucchese traditions to life in Cuba. A cat and mouse reflecting the need to know which you are and act accordingly. The road, the dog, the peony seeds, the rattle. You know, after I read that, because, you know, I've used a lot of different, I'm on my 4th maraca set. But when I never looked at maracas the same after that. Thought they were chit-chatting. Yeah. Anyway. Divination. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Where do you want to be? Knowing the answer to all 3 questions will bring victory. You don't know who you are, decide that first. Too many obligations derail them all. Changing path leads to starting over. A person who should be guiding others, success, and great achievements. Solutions. Honor the ancestors. Don't do too many things at once. I'm not even gonna lie. I need to work on that. Don't argue with yourself. I've been working on that too. They've been teaching us for meditation, when you have a conflict in your brain, you just tell it, suspend, suspend, suspend. Divine before deciding. Till your mind's clear. All right. Suspend till your mind's clear. 7 of Wands. Life can be an endless conflict when this card shows up. Everyone around you has an agenda they are pushing against you and often won't hear no as an answer. This can lead to feeling assailed by the world and like you must fight back and stand your ground. It might be true, or it might just continue the cycle of conflict. Heat, as opposed to the coolness we will see in the 6 of Cups, is called Jibana. It is an undesirable energy that breeds conflict and arguments. Left unchecked, it can escalate quickly into violence and bring destruction to a person's life, heart, and world. It is the energy of being reactionary. This energy can be a thing we will bring with us. We might choose to leave one area of heat only to find ourselves running into the same kind of problem elsewhere. Oh, it's going to rain. Okay. Once the temperature rises in us, we may lack the patience to resolve things or might feel hopeless and desperate, not paying any thought to the consequences of our actions. Guess I won't be doing yoga outside. I'm going to have to do that in the house. Symbolism. Crosswords as the place where all the heat goes to hang out. Alcohol as an escape that brings more trouble than it solves. And I just did a song about alcohol too. Ooh, it's going to bring a whole lot of folks into trouble. Implements of violence we might bring with us or run into. And I don't drink. I got a whole... I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I drink water. I drink fake Kool-Aid, and I drink lemonade. Not fake Kool-Aid, fake lemonade, and then sometimes real lemonade. But, yeah, got a whole song on that. Don't do none of it. Don't do none of it for now. All right. But I do want to try the ayahuasca. I want to try those. And some, if I ever... Well, when I go to Peru, I'm not going to say ever. So at some point in time, that's on my list of things to do. But and maybe some magic mushrooms, but not here in the States. I want some real ones from like overseas or something. Hanging out with the other sages, that would be awesome. Because I know if anything happens, they got it, honey. Okay. Implements of violence we might bring with us or run into. The volcano as the explosive heat in the world channeled out by Aganyu. Oh, I had to think of what it was called. Okay. So, yes. The crossroads. Alcohol, knife, gun. I had just remembered what it was, too. Something I don't use. I've only held a few times. Alcohol, knife, gun. I guess you could call it like a knuckler. I'll have to look it up. I had just had it. I forgot. I ain't seen one. Brass knuckles. Honey. Woo. Thank you, Spirit. I couldn't remember. I was like, Lord, I just had it. And then the fist. Fighting. And then the volcano. You might not be able to see it. It's brown. Okay. Really good lessons. Divining. Learning how to channel our frustrations and anger into fruitful directions is crucial with this card. The person being read feels criticized and or attacked. They may act rashly and dig a hole they cannot climb out of. Arguments cannot be walked back, and violence will lead to more violence or prison. A time of conflicts and fighting that we should avoid. No one knows what you should do but yourself. In a flash of anger, wrecking what we have built, relationships that should end, but we feel we cannot escape. Honey, I've been there. Drugs. I used to smoke Mary Jane. I ain't did that in a long time. Alcohol. Every day, honey. Wine, something. Can I get a 2 for $5 Christian Brothers? It's the weekend. Can I get a 5th of Jose Cuervo Gold Agave? They had some skinny wine. Can I get a whole thing of skinny wine? Yes, every day. Every day, every day. But no, it's been some time. Yeah. Solutions. And being in relationships you think you can't escape. I've been there a lot of times. Yeah. Same day restraining orders and eviction notices at the same time. I ain't got time. We got to work it out. And remove. You got to protect your energy and get rid of anything that is blocking your energy from moving in a positive manner. Yes. Get rid of it. Indeed. Solutions. Drink a glass of cold water. Pray to Aganyu for control. Do not raise your hand in anger. Do not have weapons in the house. pray to your Ori. Pray to your head. Eight of Wands. Energy is abundant when we are talking about the Eight of Wands. It is electric, charged, and requires harnessing to be put to use. In the Orisha traditions, it is believed that Ashi permits everything, as it is the primal energy that has been around since the moment of creation. When Ashi combines with something, it becomes modified to help bring out that thing's quality. Stars burn in a sense because of how they manifest Ashe. Wait till it passes. The airplane. Okay. Ashe can also be thought of as having a grace for something. For example, people would say that I have an Ashe for divining. It is my nature to read cards, and when I let it flow, Ashe plays a role in manifesting that skill. When you put our effort into something, we are adding Ashe into it. This is why your card deck sits on your altar. Ashe. Your energy is at the altar. Community ceremonies are powerful because everyone present puts their Ashe into what is going on, puts their energy into it. All the energy they access combined with their skills brings a better outcome. In a sense, Ashe itself is neutral until accessed. Whatever you're creating, it has your Ashe. Your book, your music, whatever you're baking, when you're cleaning. Hello, babies. How are you, loves? I have no clue whose dogs these are. How are you, baby? You look like I don't know what kind of dog this is. What happened to your sister friend? Honey, you leaving me now? You leaving? Okay, I haven't had that happen in a long time where dogs just come on up to me and just on my porch. Excuse me, y'all. Thank you. Whew. All right. That was not expected. We got visitors. That's all right. I love animals. Okay. Oh, I was talking about the Ashe. I was giving cooking lessons one time, and I'm not particularly for the bed and breakfast. I cooked all the time when people wanted breakfast at my Airbnb. And one of the young ladies who was dating a musician, who was dating an older musician, asked me for cooking lessons. And so I told her the story that I heard on the internet about when the young man's wife passed. He was using the same recipe, but he could never get it to taste like his wife's cooking, and he was missing his wife's cooking. And I had to let her know that when she's cooking, she's putting her essence and her energy, and if she's putting her hands on it, she is putting the oils from her fingertips and things like that into the food. She's putting her Ashe into it. That's the best way I can explain Ashe. Energy. All right. Energy, essence. Okay. It is immoral and can be applied for good or bad. Your Ashe. We can curse ourselves by speaking negatively about our value, and in this way direct a destructive Ashe at ourselves. Symbolism. A central light as the flowing of creation out from the Creator in part through Ashe. The rays of this energetic manifesting as Orisha and forces of nature. The earth being created by this flow and basking in it. The universe of stars showing Ashe's infinite expansion. I think it was a German Shepherd, but I honestly don't know. I'm not a dog person like that. Sorry, y'all. Okay, 8 of Wands. Beautifully kept, though. Gorgeous mane. Divination. With this energy, we need to question how that person is putting it to work. Are they focused and aligned, or hyper and unfocused? Ashe is a thing that can be dissipated and lost if it is not put to work. Kind of like money. You have the energy for everything you are working on. The situation is overwhelming at times. If you don't know the outcome you hope for, nothing will happen. What talents do you have or need others to bring? Solutions. Make a clear plan. Take time to recharge. Breathe slower. This must be my card today. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. Ask the Orisha to help you harness the flow of energy. Beautiful card. Gorgeous. Look at all these stars. And then the energy. And then the earth. 8 of Wands. All right. 9 of Wands. Okay. He's swimming, so I know that's Shemaya. And she got a knife. Come on. Or sword. Yep, knife. 9 of Wands. Strength and indomitable will are found in this card. It says the person is capable of anything and is often the most capable one in the room. Yet the person here may rely too much on their strength until it is gone. If this happens, they may lose everything and fall into despair. Yemiya is often associated with being the loving mother energy among the Orisha, which is my head. However, she has many paths of avatars that determine her nature, like many Orisha. Here we meet Yemiya Ibu Okotu. She swims in the depths, and when sailors get lost, she pulls them down to the bottom of the sea to their fate. It is said by some that she swims with a knife in her teeth. With this card, we find people who have a strength others find intimidating. Their focus, determination, and power set them apart from those around them. If they have learned compassion, they can be tremendous teachers. If they have not, it is likely everyone fears them and seeks to avoid their attention by giving them what they want. I'm learning compassion. Yes, indeed. When people do find me intimidating, and I have no idea why. But I don't let that bother me. And yes, focus. Symbolism: a sunken ship from the fate we might face. A knife that might be merciful or not. A dark area where only the fearless would be comfortable. A lot of time in the dark. Yes, indeed. Ship, knife. Divining. The proper use of strength is a complicated matter. In some environments, exhibitions or of might and ferocity are entirely appropriate, and others are acts of control and abuse. Ultimately, this card suggests the person is more capable than those around them. Whether they have learned to use this well won't even deter their success. It will explain how others feel about them. Success over all obstacles, promotion and advancement, winning another's heart, being surrounded by those who are not as skilled as you. Is where that compassion comes into. Be compassionate is the solution. Do not use force on any level. Lead by example. Make an offering to the sea. She loves white roses. So, white roses and water that is moving to carry it to the sea. Ask me how I know. 10 of Wands. When this card shows up, the person feels like they are living in prison. They are burdened and unable to move forward. Life and their actions have conspired to remove options from the person's life. Things are not necessarily beyond hope, but the way forward requires admitting defeat, going backward, or asking for help. All of which the person is loath to do. That's me. I hate to ask for help. Obatala wanted to travel to another town, so he consulted the oracle. He was told not to go, but insisted on it. He was told that when he left, he should make sure he did not resist or retaliate whatever happened, and to bring 3 changes of clothes with him. Irritated by this advice, he packed only 2 outfits. On the road, he ran into Eshu, who helped him lift the jar of red palm oil so he could carry it on his head. It spilled on Obatala's white clothes, so he changed and continued on his way. He soon ran into Eshu again, who asked the same favor with the same result. After changing a second time, Obatala continued, and when Eshu appeared a third time, Obatala refused to help. So Eshu threw the oil on him. How you going to waste all that palm oil, man? Without a third change of clothes, he had no choice but to carry on. After he traveled, he ran into a white horse that was roaming free. Knowing it belonged to Shango, the king of the city he was visiting, he captured it and continued. Soon city guards came and arrested him as a thief. With his clothes dyed red from the oil, no one recognized him. Remember again, the colorful Obatala is white. So he lingered in jail until out of anger he stopped the rain so the crops would fail. In time, Shango divined to see why nothing would grow and was told to free the innocent man in jail. When he went and found Obatala, he freed him and the rains returned to the land. Symbolism. Bars with Eshua's stick he uses to open and close the roads. A white horse, emblem of Shango. Obatala hidden and forgotten in jail. Don't that sound like a story in the Bible? Okay. Divining. Pay me no mind. You have, not in that area, you have one problem to solve in this reading. How to get this person out of a bind they have gotten themselves into. A dead end with no clear way forward. Too much on your plate and everything suffers. Depression brought on by neglect. Solutions. Don't go against divination. Don't retaliate. Look for the person who has been wronged. And we have covered our wands, y'all. Yay! Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you. If you are not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe and like button if you haven't already. And then, of course, you know I have journals, clip notes, and books available for sale on Amazon. And then until next time, questions and concerns, if you have any, leave them in the comments. Please and thank you.